Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you an update what's going on at the garage. So, 1966 Chevy Chevelle SS 396 big block. The motor, brake system, a lot of the electrical underneath the hood, we have redone all of it. We have tuned his carburetor in. This thing is running absolutely fantastic. It is just such a beast. This thing is an animal. The drive system, the new accessory drive system, beautiful. High RPMs, it will not throw a belt. Everything's lined up nicely. The new high performance fans that we got for it, each fan is sucking 1500 CFMs and they're 18 amps each. And you gotta watch your amperage. You can have 1,000,000 CFM, but if you only have 1 amp running that fan, as soon as you put it on that shroud and put it behind the radiator, the resistance that the air is going to get coming through your grill and then through all the little fins of the radiator, you're not going to be pulling the 1,000,000 CFMs. You're going to be pulling whatever that fan can turn, however fast. The amperage is like the torque behind your motor. You need it to keep the fans going, especially when you're at an idle. So these newer fans, they are keeping the motor a lot cooler. It's working out really nice. We stopped all the pinging with the new distributor and setting the timing up right. The reservoir for the clutch is nice now. We stopped it from leaking. We pulled it off of the firewall, so if it does get a little splash come out of it, it won't hit the paint and peel the paint off. We did all the brakes on it. They work absolutely fantastic. And we rewired everything underneath this hood. Everything has been redone. It came out so nice under here. But we are having an issue. We are having an issue with all the wiring in the dashboard. And as you can see, we have now removed the whole dash. And what was happening is when you would turn, well, when we first got it, if you turn the ignition on, your turn signal lights, both sides, went on, your high beam light went on, and your dash lights would go on. Then they would go off sometimes and would come back on. If you were to push your parking brake down, then your under dash and your dome light would go on. Sometimes you release the parking brake, they would go back off, or they would just stay on. Whether the door was open and the switch was closed and the door was open, it didn't matter. The lights did what they wanted to. Then we started having problems we also had problems, I should say, with all the gauges. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. They also had all the lighting to the front wired up all wrong. So you would turn your high beams on and the high beam light would go off, but your 4 lights up on the front for high beams would go on. Then you turn your high beam lights off and the bright light or the high beam light on the dash would go on. So we have all kinds of wiring issues going on down there. And if you look, you see that rat's nest? That's a brand new wire harness. And I mean it's brand new. And it looks like it's been in here for years. Look at all the wiring. Now they have extra plug spaces right here in your accessories. But instead, they decided that they were going to plug these wires in like this. And they have no fuses on them. There's nothing. They're just a wire coming out of the fuse panel, which is always a hot lead. So this car could have caught on fire. Now, we also have another problem. They put the ammeter back in. Now, the problem with that is all the current for the car runs through this little gauge. When you do that with these newer higher amp alternators, you are risking burning your car up because these gauges cannot handle all that amperage. So you really have to go to a voltage gauge instead of an ammeter. They also ran all the wiring from the from the alternator and the starter for the ammeter with no fusible links, no circuit breaker, no fuse, nothing. It was just straight wire. Now, again, you are asking for an issue. You are asking for a problem. This car was, even when I looked at it and I saw all this, I couldn't believe that this car has not burned yet. So we're taking everything out. We're completely redoing the wiring behind the dash. We're going to fix all the gauges. We're going to put a voltage gauge in there so it's the correct gauge. And we won't have these issues anymore. They even put the knobs on the radio. Normally, this would be the on-off and volume, and this would be the tune and the tone. Well, they had them backwards. They put the volume on this side, and they put the tune on this side. And the owner was so pissed about that. And the only way you can really get to it and change everything around is just taking the dash apart. So with these cars, you can't just take the bezel with the dash gauges out. You have to take this whole dashboard off of the car. It is a real PIA. He was not happy, but we're going to make it right for him. So, yeah, this has turned into a lot more work than anyone expected. So I will keep you guys up to date as much as possible. We're going to get this car right, and we're going to get her back out on the road where she belongs. Alrighty, guys. I will talk to you soon. Have fun. Okay, bye.